There are fewer birds to see this time of year in much of the country.
We're thinking about the winter finches arriving, but we're getting those hardy birds that are still sort of, coming from the north and are passing through.
But a new challenge facing birders like Carl Kanzi will be scores of name changes.
The whole sort of field of bird watching is aimed at being able to identify the birds.
The American Ornithological Society is doing away with birds named after people. For example, the Scott's Oriole needs to go, say critics, named after Winfield Scott, a U.S. general who oversaw the forced relocation of indigenous peoples almost 200 years ago. And Townsend's warbler, common to Western Canada, was named for John Townsend.
We know that John Townsend was actually involved in digging up the graves of especially indigenous people for the sake of scientific research at the time. It evokes thoughts of an unfair, unjust time in our history.
The Ornithological Society has struck a diverse committee to come up with new names.
This is an opportunity to correct some of these injustices and to be a little less sexist, a little less misogynist, a little less racist, and a lot more inclusive.
Adjusting to the new names could be a challenge for old-time birders, but for newcomers, more descriptive names could make learning easier. The Royal Ontario Museum has vast numbers of birds catalogued, such as Wilson's warbler. Mark Peck looked over a male and female.
Both have a semblance of a black cap. So if they were going to rename Wilson's warbler, why not name it something like a black-cap warbler?
He says the name changes should encourage a new generation of birders to take an interest.
It's critically important right now because birds' numbers are in steep declines, and we need to get people inspired and engaged in birds.
So instead of human monikers, new names may consider the features, the habitat, or merely birds of a feather that flock together. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.